Yeah, thank you very much, gents. Always fantastic to share this platform with you. And as you guys say, we really would appreciate you staying with us throughout the evening. There's so much to discuss. There's football to discuss, of course, as well. But I think for all of us, top of everybody's thoughts here is just reflecting on the passing of Diego Maradona, what he meant to each of us individually, but also just reflecting on what he meant to world football as a whole. He was a legend of the game and a legend that the other legends of the sport always look to. Roberto.
Absolutely. It doesn't get any bigger than what Diego Maradona did in football. Iconic figure, such a unique inspiration for every young kid that time. I was 9 the first time I saw him, and football was different before I saw Maradona and after. And I think that legacy will stay there forever. I think we all got our moments, but today is a sad day because we lose him as a human being, but clearly even I think makes even bigger the effect that he had in football and how he made this sport unique in his own way.
This is a man as well who was playing, 70s and 80s, and yet he's still the barometer by which we judge greatness, Jamie.
Yes, because I think he changed the game. And what I mean by that, he played in an era where football was maybe at its most physical and dangerous for attacking players. And I think actually some of the challenges he was involved in, I think almost something had to stop. In terms of when you get into the 90s, then the tackle from behind was outlawed. You think of how Messi and Ronaldo, those type of players now play, and we love them, but imagine him playing today. You see the ability, and you look at him there in the warm-up. I mean, possibly the greatest warm-up of all time, this. That's what's been going around on social media. The music that gets played in the background is fantastic. And listen, we're going to be inundated with clips like this now over the next days, weeks, months, hopefully, because he was so special, and basically he could make a football talk. Look at that. I mean,
just a pleasure to watch, isn't he?
It's unbelievable. I mean, Roberto was talking about actually going to watch him warm up, and that's a big thing. I mean, so many people speak about watching Maradona in a warm up. I mean, that shows what we're talking about. Normally you get to a game about 5 to, used to be, well, who knows what time it is now, but certainly 5-10 minutes before the kick-off. But if Maradona was involved, you'd go before, wouldn't you, to watch him warm up, Roberto?
You can see the crowd there. Nobody's moving. You're looking at him, and I will always remember he had these boots, laces out and undone, and you're thinking, why is he doing that? And then you realize that that was the way he was just feeling at home, like we all put our slippers. He was just feeling at home in the grass, and he would hold the ball without touching the grass. So every player would do the physical warm-up, and he would just stretch his groins as he's doing here, his movement. All he's doing is preparing his next little trick with the ball. And look at the crowd. It makes me, the game is not even, everyone is sitting down there like you're watching a movie. Nobody dares to get out, and the quality, he almost had a pair of hands in his feet.
I mean, what Jamie says is true, right? Lots of players get love from their own fans. There are very few players that make that impact worldwide and get adored by fans around the world, regardless of their affiliation.
Yeah, he's been talked about as the greatest ever player for some time now. I'm not as fortunate as these gentlemen to the right of me to be able to watch him live, like I've mentioned previously. But just watching them clips make me smile, make me happy, because it's a dull day for everyone. But seeing him there and having a smile on his face while he's doing things, it's just incredible to see. And yeah, it's sad. It really is a sad day for everyone.
I think whenever you play football, obviously we're all players, and when the game moves on, or maybe 10 or 15 years after you retire, people always say, do you think you could have played today? And listen, who knows? But I think I'd say to players now, if it was, in Maradona's case, because you've played then. Mm-hmm. How he was and who he was coming up against. I mentioned Messi and Ronaldo before, greats, legends, and these will get the same reaction, unfortunately, when it happens to them. But that's what I go back to. He changed the game where it was that physical in the 80s, early 90s. Things had to change, and you see what the great players do today. And I keep thinking, imagine Maradona today, with that more protection, with the pitches better than how they are, really, and almost put the legends of today in his day, and actually see what the numbers would be, what players would achieve. And I think that's why he gets so much, possibly more respect than maybe certain other players. There's not many who are close to him, of course, but I think everyone realises the timing of when he played and how difficult it was to do what he did with a country, Argentina, and also especially I think what he did in Naples.
Yeah, I mean, he gets respect the world over. All day long, we've been bringing you tributes that have just been flooding in on social media from the biggest names in the game as well, most influential names in the game. Mauricio Pochettino put this on his Twitter as well. Broken with pain, Diego, you were my hero and friend. I was so fortunate to have shared football and life with you. You will always be in my heart. All my love to your family. This as well from Eric Cantona, another former legend of the game. I will miss you, Diego, but for me, you did not die. I don't have the words to say how I feel. So many people expressing that sentiment, that his memory will live on. David Beckham posting this picture on Instagram as well. A sad day for Argentina, a sad day for football as we celebrate the greatness of what this man gave us. Someone that played with passion, spirit, and was nothing less than a pure genius. I was so excited to meet Diego, and we will all miss him. Rest in peace, he says. Zlatan Ibrahimovic as well posted this one, says Maradona is not dead, he is immortal. God gave the world the best gifted football player of all times. He will live forever and ever. And when men with those kind of reputations post those kind of words, you know just how much weight that carries. Let's take you out to Guillem Balaguer, who's in Milan. That's where he was watching one of the games this evening for us, Inter Milan at home against Real Madrid. But let's just stick with this subject of Diego Maradona, because I know that you were obviously writing his biography. Guillem, he's somebody who you were hugely invested in personally. How did you process this?
You don't expect anything like that. If he was a myth and a legend, now he's died young. That's another of those characteristics of those that we think of as gods on earth. From James Dean to Elvis Presley, all those people died too young. Exactly the same with Maradona. Every word that you mentioned there remind me of stories. I could be boring you with stories of Maradona no end tonight, but you mentioned Pochettino. The last time that Pochettino saw Diego Armando Maradona was when, after being sacked, Pochettino went to Argentina and went to see him. He was the manager of Gimnasia y Esgrima, and he went to the changing room to see Diego, but what happens is Diego stands by the door of the changing room, and there is a queue of people that want to say something to him, touch him, be with him, take a picture. So obviously Pochettino joined the queue. And when he got to Diego, he says, "Oh, Poche, but you should have told me you were here. Anyway, tell me where you're sitting, and then tell me what you see, and then if you see something I should do, I know I'm the manager, but just tell me." And I'll say, "No, Diego, I'm sitting at the other side of the stadium, so you're on your own on this one." But he had the sense of humour, the humbleness, perhaps, to open up to others. And I could go on and on. This was somebody that left a shanty town to actually take over the whole of his family when he was 15. He asked his dad not to work anymore. And after that, he became the boss of his family, the boss of his team, the boss of his country, and in a way the boss of football for a long while. And as I said earlier, they kicked him into that stage without any kind of preparation, and that kind of made life very difficult for him. At the same time, he was enjoying being part of all that. He was two men in one, certainly, the God and the human.
Absolutely, very poignant words, Guillem. Always fantastic to have you with us. Thank you very much. We appreciate your thoughts on that. We do just want to take you over to Argentina, to live scenes of what it looks like right now in Buenos Aires, where people are gathering just to pay their respects, to honour, to mourn, to celebrate the life of Diego Maradona. This comes to you courtesy of CBS News, who've sent us those pictures and shared them with us. Just see all the shirts there of Argentina, as everybody proudly wearing the colours of the man that they loved so very much. That is a congregation and a gathering that I'm sure will no doubt go long into the evening. You can see all the news cameras dotted around as well, and people gathering at this moment just to find consolation in all sharing that same sentiment. We're going to have lots more on this subject, of course. We are going to speak to play-by-play legend Andres Cantor, Nico Cantor's father, who's going to be with us and share his personal experiences with Diego Maradona.